Talk Nerdy is brought to you by its sponsor AT&T, which provides IU students, faculty, and staff with personal cellular services at discounted rates. Talk Nerdy to Me, a conversation about technology's hottest topics at Indiana University and beyond. Welcome to episode 15 of Talk Nerdy to Me, a conversation about technology at IU and beyond. I'm your host, Janae Cummings, and with me as always is the mystique to my Magneto, Brendan Howell. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, Janae. I'm kind of tired now, but
I can tell.
I'm good. Yeah, I am burnt
I feel
out.
like you're going to nap on me.
I don't know. I went to bed later than normal last night, so.
Because you're a hardworking professional man?
Well, I was in the office till like 9, so kind of.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Welcome to the real world, son.
Yeah. It's not that bad, honestly, so. Public accounting is all right.
That sounds horrible.
It's not. It's great, actually.
Public accounting, I think Keith over there would agree with me. Public accounting sounds like a nightmare.
I really like it, so. I don't know.
Man, that just gets a hold of us.
To each their own, to each their own.
We need people like you to keep everything moving, to keep the world going. We all have our place, right? We all fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
And you fit in with public accounting.
Yeah, I really like it, so don't
Maybe
bash
it's your
it.
job that's putting you to sleep, literally.
No, like I'm staying awake, but last night we didn't get out till 9, and so I went back to the hotel, and then I went to the gym, and so like after the gym I'm just like wired, and I can't fall asleep, so I didn't go to sleep till like after midnight, and then woke up again at 6. So
I wish I went to sleep after midnight for a real reason, like being productive and working out when I'm just up watching. I was watching a horrible show last night called Little Women of LA, which is on the Lifetime channel, and it's literally little women in Los Angeles getting into drama and having fights. It's a very real housewife.
like Little Women as in like midgets?
Not the right word we should be using here, I don't think.
As in little people?
As in little people.
Okay.
We may have to edit that out before we get in trouble, Joe. Maybe we don't.
Wait, isn't midgets like a real term?
It is, but there are also dwarves. I don't want to get into this. This makes me very uncomfortable. I shouldn't have brought it up. Let's move on to the news where things are safe. And the first thing I saw this week is that the cable giants like Comcast and Verizon and Time Warner are battling the FCC in this redefinition of broadband. Anybody see that?
Yeah, and I think they kind of lost already, so.
They lost today, right?
I think it was today or yesterday, but the FCC already voted on it, and it got, they voted in favor of it, 3-2, so I think it's, already going through.
And the fight was to bump the legal definition of broadband from 25 megabits per second downstream and 3, I think, up, right?
Bump it to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was 4 downstream and then 1 upstream was what it is now, and then they're moving it to 25 upstream and then 3 downstream.
Well, Netflix has got to be having a party today.
Yeah.
It's got to be a great thing. I don't know. I think it's a great thing for all of us. You know, at least then maybe this results in our cable companies just maybe not lying to us as much anymore about the kind of service we're getting. Maybe people out in the boonies
I can see
actually get the service they're paying for.
Yeah, which that sucks for them, but I mean a lot of them still can't get anything out there, so they have to use wireless cards and stuff. But
or some of them are still on dial-up.
Yeah, that's true.
Or DSL.
Yeah, they should have probably just mandated that companies invest in rural areas rather than bumping the speeds up, because I think now what's going to happen is that everyone's going to say people who want to be inexpensive and get 3 megabits per second internet because they just feel I'm not going to need the higher speeds. Well, now they're automatically getting 25, so no one's ever going to get higher than that, or maybe 50. But
I don't know. I think there will come a time when we need that. I mean, we don't really need that kind of speed now. Maybe for 4K streaming on Netflix, which no one really does.
But I mean, if there's tiers start at 25 megabits per second now, is anyone going to purchase say 100 megabits per second?
Not in the near term, but maybe a
Yeah.
few years from now they do when technology speeds up, when we actually need that kind of speed.
I guess. I'm assuming that the cable companies will have to readjust their prices so that the 25 is the cheapest option now, which is going to cost them some money. And like you said, it may take a couple of years for people to start needing the higher speeds, but the cable companies are going to have to deal with this for a couple of years now.
Well, good.
So.
It's about time someone stuck it to the cable companies. Did you see the news where a guy got his Comcast bill and his name had been turned into an expletive
No.
on the bill.
What?
Like
Yes. I assume this is okay to say. He was described as a-hole last name, like a-hole Brown.
Oh.
That was on his bill.
That's like
And
almost,
this is
yeah.
and this is after a bill dispute, and he got his bill and his name had been turned into this expletive.
That's
and
hilarious.
Comcast just issued an apology. They're like a comic book villain, Comcast. Like they consistently do horrible things and just kind of don't care.
I actually have a very pleasant experience with Comcast.
Oh, that's right. We
so
talked about this a couple episodes ago. I don't want to hear any more about your good times with Comcast. I
we're
can't
friends.
have it. You should, yeah. Well, your friends are horrible people.
I guess
calling their
so.
customers awful names and then requesting money in return.
I can't say that I haven't done things like that, and neither can you.
Of course, I haven't done things like that. Do you even have cable, Joe?
No, I do not.
Joe.
Just have the interweb.
That's right.
I fall asleep after like 15 minutes of watching any video anyway.
So next thing up, Google Fiber has expanded to Atlanta, Nashville, and North Carolina.
I think Atlanta's a cool city to kind of expand into. I think they probably should have started in more like metropolitan areas, but if they want to start in like smaller cities to kind of give those people, like bigger cities always get everything, so I guess they're trying to give smaller cities other stuff, but I don't really know how they chose like Kansas and Atlanta and North Carolina, and it's only like 3 cities in North Carolina, like Charlotte is one of them, I think, and I think Durham might be another one, but I don't know how they're chosen. So
Durham's a terribly small town. I mean, Duke is there, and I think that's what matters.
Yeah.
Kansas City is like really strangely interesting to me because they have that Free Network Foundation that started at Zuccotti Park in Occupy.
Yeah.
By this guy Isaac Wilder, but he moved his base of operations to Kansas City.
Do we know why to Kansas City?
No, I don't. I don't know why at all.
It's got to be more than the barbecue, I assume.
I think there's actually a lot going on in Kansas because like PwC has an office in Kansas, so does Ernst & Young. So I think if the big fours are there, then there has to be some big companies there. Yeah.
Stuff's going down. All right. So speaking of Google, they're also allegedly close to launching their own wireless service using Sprint and T-Mobile, kind of like TracFone. This scares me a little bit.
I don't know if it scares me, but it just makes me wonder, like, what is Google trying to do? Like, it feels like they're getting into too many different, like, markets.
I think that's exactly what they want to do.
But then, like, Amazon tried that, and look what happened to them with the phone.
I just think they developed the phone poorly. They didn't. They could have done a great phone. They didn't. And
I just don't understand.
If Amazon had manufactured a great phone, if that Fire phone had been a great phone, I think we'd be having a different conversation.
I just want to know how Google plans to make profits by having a, like, cell phone carrier service. I mean, like, I'm assuming it's going to be reasonably priced, and then, like, what phones are going to use are going to pay other people to have phones, like Samsung and Motorola, where they technically just sold Motorola, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so, like, how are they planning on making money at all?
Well, they did just put a stake into SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, in hopes of internet access for everyone.
That's like the satellite
Yeah.
company, which
Yeah.
Lizard. Yeah. Okay.
Which I can see, like,
spacecraft and rockets.
I can see, like, long term that may be profitable, but I just don't really understand the cell phone service thing at all.
Well, I can see, so there's TracFone and that kind of thing, right? Which a lot of people do use. Maybe you take that business and maybe then eventually maybe you buy T-Mobile or take advantage of that audience. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I just don't even know how to predict what Google's doing. They have
Neither
so
do I.
many-
I'm so perplexed.
They have
but
AI companies. They have robotics. Now they're joining with Elon Musk. I mean, it's just I don't know.
And
Scares
Sprint
the
and
heck out of me.
T-Mobile, like, get some better carriers. But
Brendan, you don't have the fear of Google that I think you need to, and that concerns me.
I mean, I love Google. I like
I
everything
know
that
you
uses
love
Google,
but I think we need to start being a bit skeptical when they are in all of these things. When now they're going to hop into wireless service, but you
guess
just
so.
shrug at me and your cute cardigan. That's cool. Whatever.
I'm just curious, so we'll see what happens.
I'm concerned that Google's going to space. I'm concerned that Google could, if you get a TracFone, if you get a Google phone that's on this new service.
Are you being like some conspiracy theorist now?
I'm
like,
not being a conspiracy theorist. I just think that we have a right to be aware, or we should be aware, and that we should be I don't know, on our guard.
So you think Google's going to do something like evil with their satellite access now?
They could do a lot of things, and maybe
And their
wireless is part of
lasers,
that.
don't
And
forget
maybe
that.
I just sound like some kind of lunatic who needs a foil, like a tinfoil hat. Maybe I do, and that's fine. I will own that. If I sound like I need to be on History Channel with that dude with the hair and the aliens and stuff, I'll take that. But I think there's a problem here.
I'll be your co-host on that show. I'm pretty freaked out by Google too. I love Google though at the same time.
No, I love them, and
Maybe they're just beating like other companies to the punch. So, but they're like quickly like divesting things. Like they absorbed Motorola really quickly, and then they got rid of that just as quickly. So
true.
maybe they're just investing into Elon Musk because they saw how successful like the Tesla was and everything. When then maybe the laser internet won't take off, and then they'll just kind of like throw away their stake in it.
the problem with Google, though, what if they do this this wireless thing, but they try to get everyone to convert by like signing in via Google Plus, and then it all just goes away?
Okay, I don't like Google Plus. Yeah.
But kind of speaking of, I think that's what their partnership with SpaceX is about. Like they want to get an edge over rivals like Facebook, and delivering internet to underserved areas via SpaceX is a great way to do that. So.
I do think that's like right along the lines too of what we just talked about, like increasing internet speed and bringing it to like higher speeds to rural areas. So that'll be like another way to do that.
With the fiber, it's all coming together.
There it is.
Eventually, they'll silence us when this podcast gets canceled. We can just blame Google.
Google's just a modern day Mother Teresa.
So speaking of SpaceX and Elon Musk, he has just donated $10 million to keep robots from murdering us. And if you recall our conversation on AI, where Joe and I were afraid of AI and Brendan was not, because he hasn't seen enough movies from the 80s and 90s.
Terminator is a documentary from the future.
That's correct.
There's a new one coming out. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I saw it in the movie theater last week. Or not, I didn't see the movie, but I saw the preview for it.
Nice.
Yeah. Then they go back into the past and like try to save Sarah Connor.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like they kill all the dinosaurs.
No, not that far in the past. But.
Well, Elon has said that exactly what Joe is saying. He believes that what happens in the Terminator could happen in real life. So you have a compatriot, you have a comrade on this issue. He also said that AI is, quote, potentially more dangerous than nukes. And the purpose of his donation is to both prevent that from happening and to ensure that AI is used for good and to benefit humanity.
Which I agree with that second half of the statement, but I also don't think that you should be crazy and trying to like hold back technology. Like we're already in a well-connected world, so just let it progress. I don't think he's holding
back technology. I think he's trying to prevent our own creations from destroying us, which is a pretty positive thing.
Well, how is his donation like preventing?
It'll go towards research or.
But I think that's how it should be normally. But I don't think you should say, "Oh, my donation is going toward preventing like robots from taking over the world." Just say, "My donation is going towards like development of artificial intelligence."
I patently disagree with this statement.
I don't know.
Just disagree completely.
To me, it just sounds crazy that he's so worried about them taking over the world. Like, if you want to give money towards research, just say it's towards research, but not towards, I'm afraid of, like...
He has to say what it's for, otherwise people think he's just contributing to more AI, and people are concerned about the consequences and where we'll be down the road with artificial intelligence and robots and that kind of thing. But I appreciate him saying that he's giving it for this reason.
But I feel like when you... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say... he must be on the right path in some way, because not that Bill Gates is the beacon of all right in the world, but I mean, Bill Gates chimed in this week as well, saying that he doesn't understand people that aren't concerned about the AI's future.
I mean, I think that there definitely should be like a concern about it, but I also think that like the benefits of it should be highlighted more than the like negative aspects of it. I mean, sure, like everyone tries to make like there's going to be some country or some person who tries to do something evil with it, and that's just to be expected. But I don't think that should be the focus of it.
Well, and I do not think that Elon Musk or Bill Gates are concerned about any individual human doing evil with artificial intelligence. I think it is purely like a Pandora's box, almost on an evolutionary scale. Like when you set artificial intelligence completely unbridled and free to start learning for itself, it will take on a life of its own. Then we have almost, not to get on the crazy haired conspiracy theory show, but then we have almost a responsibility for sort of a life form.
Which I agree with that too, but like I think there's so many different forms of artificial intelligence, not necessarily a robot that's going to learn, I
course.
think, like a human.
Of
So
course.
I agree there. I mean, just like the I don't know, the Internet of Things.
you're like, I would be like, I am afraid of like dying from like a Terminator, but at the same time, like I'm more interested in, but I'm more interested in like what it can do and how it's going to benefit mankind and like.
I think that's all well and good. We just need to be aware that there are pitfalls of certain things, and we need to prepare for those and maybe try to prevent some of those things. I don't think.
But I think that should all be included in the research. I don't think that should be singled out.
Okay, well,
I think on a long enough timeline anyway, and we are going to all just blend. We'll become transhuman. AI may one day be the next stage in the evolutionary
we'll just be
chain.
batteries like the Matrix.
Well, okay.
So, speaking of those, some kind of minor AI, Luna Sleep has come out with a smart mattress cover that I believe intelligently warms your bed, tracks your sleep, and, quote, makes your bed smart. And in the promo video for Luna Sleep, the guy said, all my devices are smart, but my bed isn't smart enough. I didn't know my bed needed to be smart.
Well,
But-
Sleep Number has a smart bed now, and I think the Luna is kind of just a more inexpensive way to kind of get the same features from Sleep Number. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to adjust like the comfort of your bed, but you can adjust like the temperatures and stuff.
I've never had a comfortable sleep on a Sleep Number bed. I just want to.
I've never tried one, so I don't know. But it's supposed to be like really just kind of. I mean, there's a lot of like fitness bands out here now that will track your sleep. There's even apps on your phone that you can leave your phone in your bed and it'll track your sleep. And I really think those things are cool to kind of figure out like why am I waking up tired? Like I remember I had a Jawbone Up band and it tracks your sleep. And so you set like how many hours of sleep you want to get every night. And then say, for instance, I get like 6 hours and 45 minutes, but my goal was like 7 hours. Well, when I'm up during the day, like if I want to take a nap, I can just put the wristlet or
Right,
wristband into like a napping mode, and it'll give me like a napping time based off how much sleep I need to obtain to hit my goal. So if I only needed like 15 minutes, then it'll do the same thing. So I think the whole sleep tracking thing is really nice.
I think it's pretty cool. I thought I read something that maybe this has other features, like not just doing temperature and sleep tracking and that kind of thing, but some sort of smart home integration, like maybe it'll lock your doors at night.
Well, it's like, obviously home automation is like kind of getting pushed now. Like
Yeah.
AT&T has it, Comcast has it, ADT has it. And so the Luna is really kind of just another way to kind of make your house very integrated and very connected. So if you have other smart devices, like there's a lot of smart light bulbs out there now. There's smart TVs. There's smart locks. Like there's like a Bluetooth one where you just walk up to the door and it automatically unlocks, so that recognizes your Bluetooth from your phone. And so Luna's kind of just being built to kind of connect with all of those devices. So like say you climb in your bed, it knows that you're in your bed now, so it'll turn off your TV automatically or lock your doors for you if you forgot to do that. And then when you get out of bed, it can start like your Wi-Fi connected coffee maker. So I think it's just kind of, it's a nice way to do things that you would do normally just without thinking about them.
It would be nice for something to lock my doors.
Yeah, 'cause
my
sometimes you
OCD
forget.
means that I am up 10 times making sure I lock my door.
Like that would be nice. Like I don't have a Bluetooth lock, but
Does
it's
it
something
talk
that
to
I
you?
want. I don't know.
That would be
There's an
super
app
creepy.
for it.
Of course,
So
there's an app.
but it's still in like it hasn't been released yet. They're still like gaining money for it, like getting like a crowdfund for it.
Did
But-
you donate? Did you
Well,
pre-order?
I haven't pre-ordered yet. I don't know what size I should get because like I have a full size bed now, but I might want a bigger bed later, so I want to get like the full size thing now.
You mean you don't want to just stick with the 4 megabits downstream and the 1 up?
No,
You want to prepare for
The future.
greater possibilities and
exactly.
faster connection times? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, but they're like it's really. I think it's inexpensive, but like they're $250 if you want to like order one normally. But right now they're going for like $179. So if you want one, get one.
I don't want one. I like my dumb bed. I like what it does for me. But I did get an Amazon Echo, which is kind of like a Siri in a can developed by Amazon. And I can talk to it. It's not as smart as Siri. Her name is Alexa.
Did you name it?
No, that's the name of all of them. You can either call it Alexa or Echo. You have to call it one or the other.
I like
This is
Echo
for your
better.
house,
This is
right?
for my house. So I mean, it's kind of like it's a Bluetooth speaker, but it's also kind of a smart device, and I can talk to it. I can ask Alexa what the weather is. Alexa can order all kinds of things off the internet for me, which is a real problem because one click shopping on Amazon was already a problem for me, and now I can say, Alexa, please buy the D'Angelo LP, and Alexa does that, and that's a serious issue for my bank account. But it's also pretty cool. I can ask her to play music, whether it's a predetermined playlist or whatever, or something that I've already created and downloaded and put in my Amazon cloud. So it's kind of cool. I got it. I have Amazon Prime, so it was only $99. So I got an invitation and I ordered it just to see what's going on, and it's been pretty cool so far.
So, like, what else does it do besides play music and order stuff from Amazon?
It answers questions.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it has Bluetooth connectivity, so if I have Spotify on my phone, which I do, then I just make sure the Bluetooth is connected and it plays my playlist from my phone. It has a lot of, it's just a lot of kind of stuff like that. It's just very Siri-oriented plus Amazon give us money oriented plus play some music stuff.
Amazon is all about those gimmicks like that, and then the Fire TV stick, the Fire box, and like 12 different Kindles, like 4 different Kindle Fires.
Like I can have it. I tried to have it wake me up today, but she was too far away.
Oh, that would be cool. I'll use that
so you
feature.
can set an alarm. One problem is that I didn't disconnect the Bluetooth last night, and then I was in bed looking at Facebook, and some wild video played. It might have been something you posted, and I didn't connect the video playing on my phone to what was blasting out of my kitchen, and I thought something crazy was happening. Like maybe there was like a ghost in my house and then I turned something on. I thought the TV was on, and it turns out that it was still just connected to my phone. And so, but anyways.
Now you know.
Maybe that's what Elon Musk has been warning us all about.
Maybe Alexa will take over my house. What if I had that smart mattress and Alexa took over that, and then my smart mattress killed me? Then where would I be?
Or it just tried to keep you asleep
Where would I
forever.
be? Yeah, keep me in bed.
It's
I
low
lose my
voltage,
job.
so it's safe.
So Elon Musk is here to prevent that kind of crazy stuff from happening. It doesn't have to be Terminators. It can be smart mattress pads and speakers in my kitchen, Brendan. You have to think bigger, darling.
All right.
The Luna will keep you asleep forever while Alexa is just down there buying every coffee.
All the things. So with that, let's throw it over to Ross Wilkerson with Just the Tip.
Thank you, Janae, and hello, everyone. Today, we're taking a short jaunt into the world of internet security and talking about two-factor authentication. This is a way of logging in that dramatically improves the security of your account and thus your information. If you've ever logged into any website anywhere, chances are very good that you used one-factor authentication. That one factor is something you know, a password. Anyone who acquires your password can access your account because they can satisfy the one factor of authentication demanded by that website. One-factor auth is problematic because passwords are relatively easy to acquire. Statistically, a significant portion of our listeners out there have had an account compromise at some point in their internet career. At best, that's an unwelcome inconvenience, but at worst, it could mean your personal, banking, or social information becomes available to a much wider audience than you intended. To protect ourselves from a stolen password, we add a second factor. When you set up two-factor authentication, the service or website will ask for your phone number, or prompt you to download an app, or maybe just collect an email address. Then when you log in, you're required to provide a code from that phone or retrieve an email or otherwise prove that you have control over that second authentication factor. Because the second factor is something we have rather than something we know, it presents a whole new set of challenges to an attacker. To get into your account, that attacker now has to acquire your password and take or fake control of that second factor. I think it's pretty easy to see that this dramatically increases the difficulty and amount of effort required to access your information maliciously. Here at IU, faculty and staff who access some sensitive data are required to use two-factor authentication. We have a little device that uses an algorithm to produce a code. We feed that code into the system we're trying to access. I think there's a good chance in the near future that we'll see two-factor authentication required or at least available for students to access transcripts, bursar information, and that sort of thing. Students might encounter two-factor authentication in online banking, personal email accounts, or maybe even gaming. Blizzard released a two-factor authentication system 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago now, in 2008. To help curb the rise of account theft in World of Warcraft and other online games. And they're certainly not the only publisher out there offering it. Now for the bad news, you all have homework. Go check your accounts and see where you can enable two-factor authentication. Facebook does it. Gmail does it. Chase does it. Discover, Yahoo, YouTube, Steam, LastPass, Charles Schwab, the Social Security Administration, PayPal, Etsy, LinkedIn, WordPress. Whatever you're doing out there, you can probably set up two-factor for it. And if you can't, you should probably switch to a service that lets you. Stay safe out there, Janae.
Thank you, Ross. So with that, let's talk to Joe a bit about his trip to Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show, better known as CES 2015. What'd you see in Sin City, Joe? And please,
yes.
keep that G rated.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. It's almost like just being in a Walmart with lasers, to be honest, with all the stuff going on. I think the craziest thing there really was just the sheer amount of things like virtual reality companies, headsets, and the drones, the unmanned aerial flight vehicles.
Yeah.
There's millions, no, not millions. There's a lot of companies out there doing that. And there was one more, and I can't remember what it is right now because my brain.
Did you see anything that was particularly cool for maybe IU students, staff or faculty?
I think virtual reality is going to have a lot bigger impact. I think it's functional. It's been around for 30 years, virtual reality has. But now everyone has finally agreed on the infrastructure, on the software, Unity, the Oculus Rift headset. And there's just a lot of capability stuff that you would not be able to do in the real world, such as enter the molecular structure of whatever, nuclear fission.
Well,
or
we
something.
have the virtual reality theater at IUPUI, right?
Cave, yeah.
The cave. What do you know? What some faculty are doing with that technology up there?
I know for sure of one faculty member who works in apparel merchandising and interior design, essentially architecture, and he is using that. And his students are using that. And we made a Tech Bites episode about it if people want to check out more. But yeah, they're designing, and then they can check out their 3D space instead of just looking at drawings.
Right, right. Anything else other than virtual reality? Any cool phones, any gadgets?
I didn't even, it's so big that I think we saw about a third.
Did you just get lasered out?
Yeah, totally. We did check out, we drove a BMW. That was fun.
Nice.
And there's some cars that can essentially drive themselves and crazy video games, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that there's like a couple of BMWs and Mercedes have features in them to where if they feel you veering off the road, they'll turn the steering wheel on their own to pull you back onto the road and stuff. That is awesome, but
That
that's
is pretty
also
cool.
right along the lines of AI.
It is, but maybe Elon Musk donated some money to keep your car from careening off the road.
What if the car
Or
wants to go
maybe it just
crazy?
allows you to text and drive, which I know you like to do.
I'm a pro at it though. We can't be talking about texting and drive. AT&T's very big against texting and drive.
I think you shouldn't be doing that. And
I
now that
know.
you've got that 6 Plus,
I don't have it. I sent it back, remember? This is a 6.
oh, so you can do it again.
Oh, 3D printers or something else that's there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, did you just get a lightning strike?
Yeah, it just hit me in the head.
I
So
saw
what
one of
about
those
3D
at
printers?
Microsoft.
And then there's tons of 3D printing companies. I literally got lost in the section that had 3D printers for approximately 3 hours. I mean, they're just everywhere. As far as their functionality goes, I think they're really in an infancy stage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Wright brothers' first flight. Well, maybe not that far
There's
back.
some cool
as far
3D
as the
printing going on
technology.
here, though.
Yeah, we do. There's, I think, the Ethos House, which deals with, I think, sort of health.
Yeah, Nicole Jacquard does some cool things. So
Right.
there's
Custom fabrication.
yeah.
Are any of the things that, like at the Microsoft store, they have a 3D printer there, and I got to see them print a little toy or something. But what are we using 3D printers for nowadays?
Right. I think that has a lot to do with the infancy. The common thing is to see what you see, toys.
Yeah.
For the Ethos House, they are building, they deal with a lot of robotics for assisted living environments. And they are custom fabricating parts, essentially, that instead of ordering one, well, they don't
Yeah.
exist, I think is the main thing. These parts don't exist. They get into a CAD software, design one, and print it out.
Things are also blowing up in the medical field. They're 3D printing organs or parts of your ear and things like
Prosthetic
that.
limbs
Yeah.
and
So
teeth.
it's So I think it has great implications for the health industry also down the road.
And then there's the material that most of the ones you see print plastic,
Yeah.
but they also had some. Once again, this is in its infancy, so it's not fully functional in my brain. But they did have like the most functional stuff they had was like a carbon fiber printer. They had one that used just regular, 8x11 paper, and it would just cut out the pattern, glue it together, color code things, and it was about as solid as particle board.
Oh.
And then you're getting into stuff too that is producing food, even though I think that's once again just going back into a toy. Prints in chocolate, prints in sugar. But maybe one day if we get super fancy and can, well, like the Star Trek Gene Roddenberry food replicators or something like that.
Also in the in other space, they're also doing things like 3D printed guns and bullets. So 3D printing is just kind of everywhere now.
There is that.
There is
I'm interested
that.
to see if it sticks around,
I think it will.
especially for
Unlike
medical
3D
devices.
TVs, which I am not buying into, even still. I know we talked about that
Oh my god.
offline. And I know that there are plenty of 3D movies, but there are only 6 or maybe 7 3D TV channels. HBO, ESPN, I don't even know what others, maybe another sports channel or something. Like, I'm not feeling it. I don't think it's going to happen.
I love my 3D TV, and I plan on buying another one. So,
Have fun with it.
and there's so many movies in 3D, and like the experience that you get at home is much different from what you get in the movie theater. So I appreciate it.
I have not seen many 3D movies in the theater that I have actually really enjoyed, and not just from the 3D aspect. What a good movie. Like, Avatar was okay.
Avatar was great,
Okay.
but it
Avatar
was like one of
great.
the first like 3D like movies that was recorded in 3D with a 3D camera. So like the 3D effects of it are just like insane.
Well, something amazing is going to have to come along to make, I think, to make 3D TVs kind of ubiquitous in the home.
Have you watched like a 3D TV like in someone's house?
Yes.
Like passive or active shutter?
I don't know. I think it was active. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's really good. Like I watched Harry Potter once in 3D at home, and just the clarity of it, and like the depth into like the TV was just, I don't know, it just made it that much better. So
Well, I'm glad you believe in that, even though you don't believe in AI taking over the earth. So if you thought Talk Nerdy could go 2 episodes without another sad trombone in IT, you were sorely mistaken. There's news that Microsoft has finally stopped using the name Windows Phone. And what will it replace Windows Phone the name with? Windows 10.
So they're basing it on their operating system, or is
I
that?
think maybe. I've actually read a few articles about this, and it sounded so colossally stupid that I thought maybe I had a reading comprehension problem, and that perhaps this isn't the case, and that there is actually a name for the upcoming Windows Phone, and I just can't figure out what it is. But it appears to just be Windows 10. Windows 10 Phone, Windows 10 PC, Windows 10 tablet.
I know they're trying to make everything like uniform and like you know how Apple has the whole continuity thing, like going from one device to another device. They're trying to really do that with all their like different devices, but the name I think sucks. Like it's still a Windows Phone. Like you don't say like, well, you say, oh, I have an iPhone, or what kind of, like for all the Android phones, you say, what kind of phone do you have, an iPhone or an Android? But so
I have a
everyone's
Windows 10.
yeah, I have a Windows 10 or Windows 10 phone. Like, what about when Windows like 11 comes out or Windows 12? Like, what are you gonna say then?
Right.
Keep changing the name
You
of
know,
it?
I think they've got a great product with the Surface. I think that's
Yeah.
a superior tablet to the iPads. And I'm a Mac person. I have all Macintosh devices. I'm kind of wondering why they wouldn't go with a Surface for the phone, or maybe because the tablet.
I wish they would come out with a Surface phone. Like that would actually be like nice.
Yeah, I hear they have a Surface. I'm really getting off topic. Well, I'm stretching it out. I hear they have a Surface monitor, like a touchscreen television.
Oh, do they?
That's what I hear.
It's probably $1,000, like Apple's what's it called, the Thunderbolt screen or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think the name change kind of sucks, but again,
Well, maybe it's not even true. Maybe I don't understand what I've read.
The sad trombone
Let's-
is us.
We could be
folks.
it could just be me. I'm the one who brought it up. I'll own that. I'll take that too. Along with being a tinfoil hat, alien, Elon Musk AI person, like conspiracy theorist, I will also own that maybe the sad trombone in IT is me. Sad Janae in the podcast. So
It's either that or we could just say we really just wanted to hear the sad trombone sound effect.
All right, so with that, I bring episode 15 of Talk Nerdy to me to a close. If you have any questions, feedback, or want to say hi, you can reach out to us online at talknerdy.iu.edu, on Twitter at talknerdyiu, and via email at nerdy@iu.edu. On behalf of Brendan, Ross, and Joe, this is Janae Cummings. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again in March.
Say goodbye. The first thing is to die a little.
This has been an official production of the IT Communications Office. Copyright 2015, The Trustees of Indiana University.